G'day everyone, Daniel Anderson here. Welcome to another episode where this is a part tour of a little series around the new Yammer Communities app for Microsoft Teams. Now in the first episode we took a look at the app and now as an end user, how an end user can add the app themselves and also as a tab in a particular channel in a team. In this episode we're just going to take a look at more from an admin perspective and how an admin can make this communities app available to certain users, but also to the whole organization as a whole. Okay, so I'm in the Microsoft Teams Admin Center, and the section we want to look for is under Teams Apps. Now, I'm just going to click on the setup policies, and that's where we want to go to make some changes. Now, what we're going to do first is I'm just going to walk you through how we go about creating a new policy. So we're going to see automatically there's already two that are non-custom, and I've already gone ahead and created a couple as well. But we're just going to click on the add button, and I'm just going to call this policy Yammer Community Policy. And we're just going to scroll down the page a little bit to this section here where it says pinned apps. Now this is where we can make some changes to the order and also what applications are pinned on the left-hand rail for users that are assigned this policy. So what we might want to do is, let's just say we want to remove calling. So I want to remove calling as a pinned app from this policy, but then I want to add the Communities app as a pinned application here. So I'm just going to search for, and I've found Communities, and I'm going to add that to the policy, to the pinned apps, and I'm going to move it all the way to the top. All right, so I've now removed calling and added the Communities app. I'm now going to save that policy, that custom policy. Now, after that custom policy has been saved, what we then need to do is assign that policy to certain users. All right, so now when I click on Manage Users, I can then type and look for people in my organization to apply this policy to. So I'm just in this case going to add this policy to Alex, and we're just going to hit apply. All right, that's going to then apply this policy to Alex. It might take a few minutes for it to propagate through for Alex, but when he opens up Teams, he'll see the Yammer Communities app now on the left-hand side in position 1 of the pinned applications. Now, I've already created one previously, and I used Nesta as an example. So I'm just going to search for Nesta under the users section here, and I'm going to view his policies. So let's just jump into Nesta. And under policies down here, what you will see is that in the app setup policy section, he's been assigned the communities policy. All right. So when when Nesta logs in, he's going to have this policy applied. All right, so you can see here that calling is already there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to log in now as Nesta, and let's take a look at what he sees. So I'm just going to drag this across into frame here. And let's just take a look at what happens when Nesta logs in. All right, so let's just expand that, and we'll jump into Teams. Now, I did only apply the reordering of that policy a couple of minutes ago. That hasn't flowed through yet, but what you will see is that that the Communities app has been pinned to his launcher there, to the rail. Now, because I'm on a smaller dimension, you'll see that it's been cut off a little bit. But if I expand this, you'll see that the Communities app now has been added to Nesta's rail there. Okay, so a way that you can push that application out to individual users, you can create a new app policy. Now, if you wanted to make that, let's say we wanted to make this Communities app available to everybody in the organization. Now, we've got this global org-wide default app setup policy that every user has. All right, so what we could do here in this case is just change this global policy here, and we could add the communities app to this global policy, and that will mean that that will then be available on the rail as a pinned application to all the users in your organization. Okay, so I hope that brings you some value today. Little part tour of the Yammer Communities app, and I hope that brings you some value. If you're not an admin, then make sure that you share this with your admin so that they've got an understanding of how they can also distribute and push that application out to teams, users in your organization. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.